Hello, welcome to A Home to Love. My name is Delina, and today we're in the living room area of my home where my tree and my mantle over my fireplace take center stage. Today I'm going to show you how I decorated the living room to make it warm, cozy, and give you all those lovely nostalgic Christmas vibes. Sorry, my voice is a little, still not feeling so hot. Let's get started. I am going to give you a close-up of the garland over my mantle. As you can see, I've used that ribbon that I've used throughout the entire house that I got from Hobby Lobby in that giant roll. I've added some different bells and garlands. Okay. Now I'm going to step back and show you that it's asymmetrical, that it goes along the top and then just goes down a little bit. We're going to discuss how I got this. To get the look of the mantle garland, what I've done is I've taken just a standard green garland. I didn't have any more of the really cheap stuff is what I used. The stuff that just has one dimension. It just has like these all through it. What I did is I took that garland and I took a bunch of picks from Dollar General. They're $3 a piece, or if you Hobby Lobby, you can get them sometimes for $4. And what I did is I weaved it through that garland. Okay, I wrapped the branches around. I took some zip ties and I made it like that. So that's what adds to the garland. Then I started adding the berry picks on here, the little gold bells, again, Dollar General, you can buy them in a pack. I put those on there. I put some strips of burlap because of my chandelier has burlap. And I just kept adding to it. And what it's secured up here with a couple nails and some twine to keep it, because it is exceedingly heavy. Now, these garlands, this one comes from Hobby Lobby. This one comes from Hobby Lobby. It was in their fall 75% off, and I snatched a bunch of them. These bells, Dollar General, and the great big ones are from Walmart, and they came in a whole string. You'll see over here on the peg rail when I show it to you, that's how they came. I cut them, separated them, and tied them, and then added them to the garland also, because they are Santa Claus's retired reindeer bells, don't you know? Now, I could have gone a whole lot more grander, except for I have a husband who said to me, I can't use the TV if you do that. I need to access all the controls on the TV, and since my TV just sits on the mantle and it's not up any higher and it can't go any higher, I had to look at that and say, okay, I have to make sure it doesn't stick up too high to mess with the sensors, and that's sort of what I went with. And then I weaved that tartan plaid ribbon throughout to tie into all that. Now, as far as the candlesticks are a thrift store find. They are the battery operated candles in brass. Now, I recently found these reindeer. They're metal at my Goodwill. Only problem is one's got a little broken antler, which is fine. We all are a little damaged. So for the sake of decorating, I can't leave these up here because again, the husband would have a fit. But if you had a mantle where the TV was not an issue, this is what I would do. I would put those lovely reindeer up there, and then I would more sprigs. I'm gonna spray paint these gold or rub and buff them gold. Just didn't have time to do it yet. And that is my mantle. And like I said, everything is tied together. I like it because I can take it apart. If next year I don't like this look, I can remove all those picks from that garland and repurpose them and use them in other places. So that's my tip that I didn't, oh, and these little gold reindeer, Dollar General. So my advice to you is you don't need the viral spend a ton of money garland. If you can still achieve a really pretty garland for not much money using Dollar General, Dollar Tree, very cheap garland that I've had for 20 plus years that was looking pretty rough, I repurposed it. So that's my mantle. So here's my Christmas tree. I got it at the store. Could not tell you what kind it is. At the base is a copper planter that I took a PVC pipe and some concrete and centered that PVC pipe in the middle, poured the concrete, let it set up, and my Christmas tree slides into that PVC pipe. It is a very solid base. It will not tip. It will not move. And then at the top, you will see my tree topper. I do not recommend this. I got it from Amazon and was really disappointed. I made it work, but I cannot recommend it to you guys. And it has the battery operated candles. And then now in the middle, I am going to string some fairy lights in the middle to get that twinkle effect. Okay, that's the first layer of lights. And it adds just an extra little something to the tree without it costing me a brand new $300-400 tree. So onto the regular incandescent. These are the lights that I'm going to use. I got them from Dollar General, like $3.50, and they're the clear mini lights. Okay, the stringed lights are on just the incandescents and the twinkle of the fairy lights, which has 6 or 7 settings that I need to mess with. My next layer of lights are these. I got these at Big Lots, so we'll see what those look like on it. Okay, we have the light, like little candles, the flickering candles. I'm not sure how I feel about them. They're actually battery operated, which I'm not thrilled. And the wires are extremely short in between them. And the clips, unless you have really thin branches, they would be very hard to clip onto the Christmas tree. So I need at least 2 more boxes of them too, as far as that goes. But so far so good. I will show you what that candle, if I can find the remote, looks like on. I don't have batteries in the last one. And that's the candlelight. So I'm waiting on batteries to put that last one in, and I mean, we'll see. I gotta go back to Big Lots and get a couple more boxes of those candle ones and batteries. Yay. We all know, like, we don't have enough things that need batteries at Christmas time. So check out my new tree. No fluffy. This is like right out of the box. Look at all the little lights. And then it's got different modes. This is where it and then this is the color. And then the on and off twinkles. The colored. And it's got a dimmer on how, back to the white. Gorgeous tree. And it's got an on off switch that you just touch. And it's got this mode where it goes from white to colored. And then off. But these are the branches. They're that real feel branch with like a normal Christmas tree branch on the inside. So cool. Problem is, it's a lot bigger. I'm gonna have to figure out a place to put it. Okay, because my new Christmas tree is so tall, I cannot put that candelabra onto the top of it. So I had to step back and reconfigure. Now, I took some zip ties and I zipped them together. That's gonna go around the top of the tree to hold all my picks. And here you can see it's just tied in there. It'll disappear once I put all the picks in. Now I'm gonna take this pick I got from Hobby Lobby. I'm gonna separate it out. And then I'm gonna stick it in to the tree. And that zip tie is gonna hold that pick and all the other picks that I do for the topper. Well, I had to remove the bottom of this topper that usually goes onto the tippy top of the thing, and we're gonna do the zip tie again. Okay, I have a bunch of these picks, some like cranberry ones, some pine ones, a gold one, and some red berry ones. And those are what's also gonna go from the topper. And this is where we're at. I just stuck them in. I took the white and the gold at the very tippy top, zip tied that tree topper in, and then that zip tie is what keeps those picks in there. And again, it's different sizes, different colors, coming out in all different directions. That is my tree topper. Next, we're gonna add that plaid ribbon. Before we add the plaid ribbon, I have these branches from an old Christmas tree that I flocked. I am gonna add that into my tree, just in sporadic places, to give it that slightly snowed on look. So, what I do is I take a little branch and I just tuck it in there. No fuss, no muss. And I will do that throughout this tree. Okay, I didn't have very many of those, but I think it adds just a little bit. If you had a snowy garland, you could wrap it in the tree. But I just wanted just a little tiny bit of it in there as, and it's also great for filling in those gaps or those holes in the tree. This is the ribbon. I got it Hobby Lobby, half off. And it's that tartan plaid. And I am just gonna kind of loop it throughout the tree. I am not making bows. I am just gonna kind of do the, I think around instead of down, and just the top. That is kind of what I'm going for. It's just, I just cut it into long strips and I'm just tucking it in. All right, and here we are with the bow. You see, I just tucked it in around the tree. Like I said before, I am not a big bow person, but I wanted it to tie in. Make sure if your tree is, like you can view it from other spaces, make sure that you're doing everything evenly down. And like I said, I just did it kind of on the diagonal and tucking it in long strips, just like that. No fuss, no muss. Tucking those ends in so nobody can see the ends. Are you a ribbon girl? Do you like a lot, or a ribbon guy? Do you like a ton of ribbon in your tree or just a little bit? Are you going traditional colors? Are you going out of the box? Let me know down in the comments what you guys are doing this year. I tend to change up my tree and colors every year or so. I don't tend to do the same thing over and over. And this is a brand new tree to me, so. Next, we're gonna add those candle, let me get it to focus, candle lights on there. And I'm gonna do that in clusters. Does not want to focus. All right, as you see, that's the first strand. I put them in little groupings on the tree. I saw another YouTuber do this, Brittany Blaine. Fabulous Christmas content if you want to check out her channel. She doesn't even know who I am, so it doesn't make a difference. But yeah, she did this and she got it from another YouTuber, and I'm just gonna do those in clusters. All right, this is what they look like in clusters, and they're all wired. I don't really like these, to be honest with you, and they're battery operated. They are not plug-in, which I would prefer the plug-ins, and they're hard to keep straight because they are all wired together. I would do the individual ones. If you like this look, I would do that. Now, probably should show you what it looks like all light up. If I can find the controller, because the cat is sleeping on it. Now, that's what it looks like, and they kind of get lost when I turn on all the lights, but I really like it. And there's one other thing I did. I put twinkle lights, just like I did the other tree. I put those in the tree for an extra little sparkle. I would probably do, instead of just the fairy lights, I would buy the big strand of fairy lights, like the twinkle lights from Amazon, if I were going to redo this. But I'm trying to be budget friendly and mindful, and that's where we're at so far. I do have a tree collar coming, like a rattan one from Amazon, but for right now, we just have Jasper taking a little nappy poo down there on the blanket. He loves the tree. He's climbed in the tree and bent a couple of the branches. What are you gonna do? But I love the tree topper. I love how that looks. All right, Next item I'm gonna put on the tree are those pine cone ornaments that we made a couple of videos back. And there are those pine cones. And we're just gonna put those in the tree. Just gonna surround the branches. I'm gonna tuck it in a little bit. And that's what it looks like on the tree. And I'm gonna do that with all the rest of the pine cones. And then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, and then you see the pine cones sprinkled throughout the tree. And I just love it. I could leave it like this, but I'm not going to. Next, we're going to go into the baubles and balls and all the things that make a Christmas tree special. You've seen the story of my tree. I started off with one tree, which I would have been fine. I would have gone with it, worked with it, been perfectly fine. The thrift store had these for $200 and I couldn't pass it up. I called my husband and said, you know, I'm going to buy another Christmas tree at the end of the year when they all go on clearance, because the one that I had was a thrift store find and it was shedding pretty bad. I will still keep it. I will use it like on the porch or somewhere that doesn't get a whole lot of traffic. So I showed you most of the decorating and then the SD card got corrupted. So, I will take the camera and I will show you some of the other ornaments that I added to the tree. I have these faux crystal. They were a Dollar General find. The reindeer that are also on the mantle. I said Dollar General, but it was Dollar Tree, sorry. Same thing with these. These were a Dollar Tree find. Oh, the little tartan plaid ones. I do not remember where I got those. I've had those for years. And let me see what else is on here. Some of these are from a city in a city in Michigan called Frankenmuth. And they were gifts. We used to live up in Michigan and used to go to Bronner's, which is a Christmas store. And if you are up in Michigan, I highly, highly suggest you go check it out. The antlers are from Walmart. Those berry balls I've had for 20 plus years. I do not even remember where I got those. So that's pretty much it. I added some gold bulbs in there. The green glass ones are the same with the tartan plaid. They came with the same set. And then I added picks. I think that's about it. And like I said, the topper, I think I could give you a better look. Those are just all picks put in there with that trick that I showed you. And that's all I did. I mean, I'll give you a step back. The tree collar came from Amazon. It's pretty, but it comes in 6 different pieces and they don't tend to stay together, especially if you have cats or animals that knock them all the time. But I didn't want a traditional tree skirt because I have animals. But that is my Christmas tree. Now let's get on to decorating the rest of the room, since those main elements have been done. And I am sorry I didn't film me putting the garland together or more of the Christmas tree. Again, the film footage went bad. So let's turn the camera around and let's get started. On the couch, I've added it was a bedspread in a cream color. I just folded it over and put it over the back of my very old couch. Added those pillows that I've had before in the colors that pick up from the rug. Nothing much different there. Making sure I added the plaid and the blue. Again, my husband doesn't like when I add a whole bunch of stuff, so I have to live with the man, so I have to compromise. Now we're going to move over to the dry sink in front of the window. This is the cabinet that I moved from the guest room out here under the window that looks out to my backyard. This is the same tray that I got from Walmart that I used in my fall decorating. That has not changed. I'm going to leave this out here. Lamp again, thrift store. I don't think I've ever bought a lamp brand new. A doily again, my grandmother. I set that in there. I have a frame that I thrifted, print from Etsy. I'm just gonna stick that in there. Now, one of those little Hobby Lobby trees, thrifted item. Going to put said tree into urn into tray. Candle was a gift. Set that in there, the lid down, protect it from heat, and then I'm gonna set the candle in. And that's it. When I do a tour of what I've done in the room, I will take you and do the close-ups at that time. Let's move on to the coffee table. On my coffee table, I have this tray that I got from Ross. It looks like white birch. And set that in the middle. I have a gingham napkin. Again, thrift store find. Tuck that in there. Another doily from my grandmother. Sling that in there. I'm going to take tree from Hobby Lobby, another tree from Hobby Lobby, and set those two in there. Okay. I'm going to guess reindeer. That's the other one that was on top of the freezer that came in a set. Thrifted candle holder, wreath, Hobby Lobby, and a battery operated candle. And that's all I'm gonna do on my, I'm just not gonna sit in there for a while, on my coffee table. Simple, because there's so much else going on. We are now going to move over to the desk / table and pegboard that's by my back door. I am not going to take this down because, again, I would have to be on a ladder. We all know about me and a ladder. They don't mix. But I have a wooden scoop that I've had forever in front of a wreath that, again, forever. The garland up there, the sparkly one with the pine cones, that is from Big Lots. The bell one I macrame a twisted chain and sewed some bells. This I made from a gift bag. Decoupaged it on and some leftover molding, and that's where this came from. These are the bells from Walmart that I used also on my mantle where I took it apart. This is what they look like when they're all together. These are antique bed warmers that I collect and hung from there. So we're going to move down to the actual table where I can decorate with you guys. So we're going to start off, I have a table runner got from Hobby Lobby onto the table. This is the second one of those that I got from H years ago. The other one sits on my dining table. So again, I'm using the same elements. Tucked in some of that ribbon that I've used everywhere else. Those candlesticks that are unfortunately no longer available from Amazon. And I set that short one on top because I wanted that wood element. Set that, set of 3. Candles, battery operated candles. These came from Aldi's. And the last element up here, these are tree toppers from Walmart. I removed the stick. And I am just going to tuck those in. And that's my tabletop. And then on the underneath, I will take the camera and show you that one. Now this is that little wall shelf thing that I picked up at the thrifting. It's in the video what I thrifted and how I styled it for Christmas. I put some plaid craft paper on the back, painted the inside green, added a clock, a little music box, and some books. And that's what's sitting underneath that table. So I will give you a close-up. You've seen that. This is what that looks like. Sitting here. And then moving up. See my kitchen is that peg rack, which again, I'm sorry guys, ladders, and like I said, some of that footage was just, it was lost. And we're gonna spin you around. This is where my tree and my mantle sit. Coffee table. I'll give you a close up. Like I said, the most fussiest part was the tree and the mantle. Everything else just plays a supporting role in my living room. And like I said, just say hello to Angus. But here's the thing. I mean, if you've seen my dining room video, this room and that room is open to each other. So they play off of each other. So even though the living room may not be overly done, the combination of my living room with my dining room, and then it leads into my kitchen for those that are new. If I did every single space, it would get overwhelming. It would not feel that warm and cozy. It would start to feel kind of claustrophobic, at least in my opinion. So y'all, tell me what your favorite part of my living room decorating was. Would you do more? I'm open for suggestions. If you didn't like something, let me know too. Criticism is a way of learning if it's done in a constructive way. Well, that's it for my living room, guys. We have one more room left in my house to decorate. But I do have a whole bunch of videos coming up on recipes, traditions, things of that nature, which I think you guys will really enjoy. Well, thanks for joining me, and I will see you in the next one.